Sometimes if my opponent is really close to me here, it's like, I've seen people like, this is awkward, right? Or other issues if we're too far away, but I've seen a lot of people who are too close together here. Honestly, that's a very good problem to have. It's kind of an embarrassment of riches because it means that I can catch my opponent's angle and I can do a million things now if I hold the leg control. So they're not usually going to leave it within reach as they get more experience because they know how dangerous it is. But if I know that I want this one and my opponent is basically just daring me to go for something else because they're keeping their foot so crowded, this is easy to deal with. I've got my X, make my opponent step. Just extend your legs a little bit. Now, top leg slides up, bottom leg slides down. And my extension that leg should be very easy to sit my opponent down. And now remember, once we get to this point, I want to be still lining myself up at the proper breaking angle for the foot lock, just like we were doing before. And that's true whether I keep my right leg on my opponent's far hip or I slide it to the near knee. That's completely your call, generally speaking. If you want more leverage, especially if you're going against a taller opponent, you might want to go to the near knee. It's more powerful regardless, but especially if your opponent is longer than you are. But either way, I don't want to be so far away that I'm like, I don't really have anything here. I'm just kind of leaning on my opponent's foot. I want to make sure that I still have a good bend to my opponent's knee, whether that's generated by my own shoulder positioning or it's generated by my shin position. When I step over, remember I'm not just going to this point here. I'm putting it on my opponent's hip for a reason. I want to be able to elevate my hips with it. I want to block him as I do that, which means I don't want to be falling that way. I want to just drop my shoulders. I want to pick my hips up here, which means I've now built that angle that I need to get my hips above the angle that I'm trying to break. I'm leaving my right arm relatively loose right now to be kind of nice to my teammate as we're talking through this. But remember, when we're going live with this, we're turning that over and we're getting that on the verge of breaking before I even engage my hips. Loosen it up a little bit. Hips come up here. Even with my arm loose, I should be able to snap that like it's nothing if I get that angle correct. But if I don't have the angle correct, I'm way back here, maybe this leg is kind of loose, and maybe I'll step here, and I'm like, I mean, it's maybe a little uncomfortable, but nothing's really happening. So this is a simple move, but pay attention to those details in terms of the angles that we are creating. So if we get all this right, I should be able to shatter that like it's nothing. But if I don't have those angles right, it's going to be very frustrating, it's going to feel very uncomfortable. Does that make sense?
Sir.
Yes, sir. And like I said, guys, if we hit this sweep here, and something is going wrong, like maybe this is slipping or something went wrong, I'm coming up into a pass position and I at least got my top position, I'm ready to start passing and I got my points and all that good stuff. But we'd like to get more than that. One more time from the beginning.